from the post. This is for either of you. You guys forced 19 George Washington turnovers. You guys got a lot of steals. Just was that in the game plan going into this?
Absolutely. Going into the game, we knew that they were going to drive a lot, and we prepared all week. We had a really tough week of practice, and we knew we wanted to bump up that defensive intensity. So that was a big part of our game plan, and we executed that well today.
Josh, WUB. The team in general struggled a little bit with getting rebounds and stuff because allowing other teams to get points. With you getting them rebounds, congrats on that.
Thank you.
What do you look for down
there? Kind of just pursuing the ball. Like I said the first time, Kate, Asia, all those bigger people, they do the harder work. I kind of just find that area. And sometimes it kind of just comes down to pursuing the ball, long rebounds, trying to use my athleticism to kind of just jump a little bit higher than a lot of people. But it mainly goes to my other teammates for just getting the box out, and then I just kind of pursue the ball.
Hi, Megan from the Post. Either of you can answer. Are you feeling any pressure going into this game? It's your first win of the season following 2 losses. How do you handle that pressure?
I don't think it was necessarily pressure. I think it was more hunger to be successful and come out with a win. Every game we're trying to win. So there was just a collective intensity from everybody, I think, to win this game. And I thought we all executed well.
Yeah, I think going off of what Kate said earlier, I think this week of practice really helped us out a lot. It was a rough week, but instead of kind of going away from each other, we went towards each other. We leaned on each other for help. That's something we really focused on, especially today, especially after such a rough loss against Bellarmine. Kind of just making sure we stay as a team, lean on one another when we're down, and kind of just work together.
Evan Johnson, WAB. Turnovers have been a problem for the first 2 games. We saw that number go down today. Bailey, you had more game reps taking the ball in the court. Have you felt more comfortable now that you have those game reps?
Yeah, you definitely get more comfortable the more you do it. Being point guard, I was point guard growing up the whole time, like my whole life. So it wasn't anything new, but it's definitely different at the college level. So yes, I got more comfortable, but it kind of just comes with time as well.
This is the second game in a row you guys have really gotten pretty officially. Again, is that something you guys kind of harp on and focus on getting this game today? Easy opportunity more.
Coach Bob always tells us that we're better on our second drive. So moving the ball, playing together, getting that movement on offense, we play best when we play that way. So that was definitely a big emphasis going into this game, I would say, for sure. Mm-hmm.
One last question for the players.
You have a big game now on Wednesday. With getting that first one under your belt, what does that give you confidence going into that?
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State, they're a good team. I think we're also going to keep focusing on, playing together as a team. Boxing out, they kind of killed us second half with offensive rebounds. So we're going to keep working on boxing out, communicating with each other, just kind of working as a team. I think if we keep playing as a team, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, taking one game at a time. I think we're going to enjoy this win, look at the scout for Ohio State, and, take that game as it comes and treat it just like we treated this practice, this week with these practices, working really hard to get back into it. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was really proud of the way that the kids bounced back. It was a talented and physical George Washington team, and I thought our players did a really nice job of stepping up to the challenge and competed from start to finish. So I was proud of that effort.
Charlie from the Post. Coach, the defense today was really impressive. You guys forced 19 turnovers. Just kind of tell me what went into the effort and what did you think of the effort?
I thought the effort was awesome. I think we probably had our toughest week of practice this week, and I thought they responded well from it. And that's what I told them afterwards. I was most proud of the way that they stuck together through this week's practice and came out the other side and performed the way that they did tonight or this afternoon. Trying to keep them out of the paint. You know, they're a physical team. They're a very talented team, and they got some players that are really dynamic and can get to the rim. And I thought we did a pretty good job of prohibiting that, and at least making it difficult. And you saw they made some pretty tough shots, but I thought we did a good job of not giving them very many easy shots tonight.
You guys struggled a little bit and have been season with rebounding. What are you guys focusing on just in general to stop those extra plays?
You know, just completing the rebound. I think we've had times where we've done a nice job of boxing out. I think we've done a nice job of pursuing the basketball. I don't know that we've done that combination enough. I think too often we box out and don't pursue it. I think sometimes we try to pursue it without the box out. You have to do both, and it's certainly something that we're aware of, that we're working on. And I think we're making progress. Obviously, they out-rebounded us. They were strong. They were athletic. And with any game, you're going to have some unfortunate bounces. And, you know, we obviously, the second half, we just gave up too many offensive rebounds. And that's something that, you know, even win or lose, you know, a game in November, if you can go undefeated, that's awesome. But otherwise, a game in November is pretty pointless. You know, you just got to try to get better. And, you know, you got to watch this tape no different than you watched the last tape and say, okay, we got to get better at these three things before we play a game in January. Certainly more fun to win along the way. You know, if you can win a couple of those, that makes everybody feel a little bit better. But the idea is you just got to improve. And as you mentioned, it's something we'll continue to work on.
Evan Johnson, you know, the team shot a lot less threes today, getting more looks inside. How did you like your team being formed? Points in the paint, getting more looks down low.
I liked our balance. I thought our shot selection was good. You know, we still haven't shot the ball particularly well. And again, that's another thing that we can work on. We can always try to shoot better, and you know, we'll work on both those things among other things this week, and just try to become a better basketball team next week.
So you guys played without obviously Jay McClure and Kenny Watkins. These are back to guys for first start, and some of the freshmen came in as well. Just what did you think of the performances of some of the depth and some of the players?
It was awesome. You know, it's hard just to stay ready. You know, it's a term that you hear a lot, that you got to stay ready, and it's an easy thing to say. It's a hard thing to do, and I thought those players did that. You know, you're just sitting there waiting to see if I'm ever going to put you in the game. You know, you're just sitting there watching the game, and it's hard. And I thought everybody who came in did a very nice job. I thought our energy level was pretty good throughout the night, and that's a tribute to the kids that started, but probably more so those kids that came off the bench and gave us good minutes off the bench.
Ohio State next Wednesday. What does the team need to focus on to be ready, and how did this team competition kind of get them ready for what's next?
You know, it's an indication of how physical Wednesday's game will be. Wednesday's game will be more physical than today. This is probably the most physical game that we played, and Wednesday will be more physical. So that gives you kind of an idea of what you're dealing with. You know, Ohio State's probably more talented. So defensively, you're going to have to play things a little bit differently than we did today. But you know, it's all part of that process. It's all part of the November process, and it's all good. And it's something that I know our coaching staff's looking forward to it, and I'm sure our players are as well.
One last question for Coach.
Kate has had her career high time with 15. Really shot the ball well. Just what does she bring on a nights basis to this team?
Consistency. You know, you can count on Kate, and she's been in our program for what feels like forever. But she's got a good understanding of what we're trying to do. She's a great communicator. She's a terrific human. She cares a lot about her teammates, and you can count on Kate coming in and doing her job. And you know, today she shot it pretty well. A couple of games ago she didn't, but it's not ever a lack of effort. And she'll come in tomorrow and practice and do her. We won't practice. We're off tomorrow, but she'll get her treatment tomorrow, and then she'll show up Monday and she'll stay after and shoot like she has every day for the last 4.5 years. And she's just a model of consistency, and you know, how a great example of how to be a Division I athlete would be a good way to describe her. A student athlete at that.